Hey y'all, this is Yawande the Resolute Rose. I'm an artist, a writer, and storyteller. And the work that I do is rooted in self care and community care. I believe that joy is our divine birthright. The only way to it is through it. And so much of what I do is based in healing and storytelling and self expression. And welcome to my very first Saturday Selah. Saturday Selah is my weekly newsletter in visual form, in written form. If you're on my email list, you can subscribe below. And I really just come in, pop in to talk about, things that have helped with my self care journey, give a little storytelling. Sometimes I'll share a little art, but Saturday Selah came about after I realized that my Saturday mornings literally just feel like a breath of fresh air, a moment to stop and pause and reflect on the week and kind of be with myself. For the past several years, I've had a standing tea date with my mom because she lives in a different state, and so you will see me drinking my tea. And I just realized that, from the tea time with my mother, the stories that we would share and, the moments that we would have, of course, they're beautiful, but they brought me so much healing, and I'm sure the same for her. And so Saturday Selah is really a space for us to have a cup of tea, have a brief conversation, really just pause, reflect, breathe, digest anything that comes up. I'll be sharing some of my own experiences. I'm sure as time passes, you all will be sharing some of your experiences as well, and we can figure that out when we get there. But yeah, so I am primarily a visual artist, but I recognized that I missed my voice through writing, through speaking, and so I'm here to expand into the fullness of my gifts. And so with that, this Saturday Selah, I wanted to talk about kind of transitions and expectation versus reality. I recently, not so recently, transitioned from full-time in corporate to working, within my gifts. And, with the pandemic and everything, and I'm sure everyone is so tired of hearing about, pandemic and Ponderosa or Panorama or whatever you call it. But so much has come from that space, and so much undoing has happened with kind of being with myself and learning more about who I am as a woman, as a mother, because pre-pandemic I was not a mother. Shout out to the pandemic babies. As a sister, a friend, and so many things. And I just wanted to encourage you all for today's Saturday Selah to invite all parts of yourself to tea in the morning. And if you drink coffee, it's fine. But what I mean by that, when I say invite all parts of yourself to tea in the morning, is it's easy to get caught in shame, or we were in isolation for quite some time. It's easy to self-isolate and to hide out of shame or fear of being judged or of being different than you were before. And I think that with us being home, one thing that we've discovered is ourselves. And in order to fully be at home with yourself, you have to invite those uncomfortable parts, the hurting parts, the laughing parts, the unforgiving parts, the parts of you that maybe you have not learned to love just yet. Invite all of those parts of you to the table when you have your tea or coffee or water in the morning, and kind of sit with all of you, the fullness of you, and see what comes up. I'm thinking back to, so it's June now, but I remember going into May and thinking, May flowers, it's going to be so beautiful. I'm getting my May flowers. And although May was a beautiful month, it was not what I expected. I had client contracts that, fell through or were rescheduled, and things just, happened left and right, not to mention gas prices and all these things. And I can't wait for this to just be archived and for us to reflect on these times. But May was a month of things just not going according to plan. And instead of getting a beautiful bouquet of flowers like I expected, some of my flowers that I got were a little wilted. Some of them might have been dying, but they were flowers nonetheless. And I think that it really forced me to manage my expectations and to sit in that disappointment, not live there, but to sit with it and wonder what was coming up for me as far as like why was I so disappointed? How much of my worth was I putting into things going my way? How much stock was I putting into things going my way? And when they didn't, what did that say about me? Was I supposed to be in control? The answer is no. But we'll talk about that another day. But I just wanted to share that, things don't always go as planned. You're not in control. As crazy as you may think that sounds, you're not. But when things don't go according to plan, that's just what it is. You don't have to be ashamed of anything. You don't have to be afraid of anything. You are your first home, so you should love on yourself and be gentle with yourself as much as possible, and invite all of those parts of yourself to coffee or tea in the morning. I said I would keep these super brief, and so that is the essence of Saturday Selah for this week. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Tell a friend, like, share, subscribe, and comment. I want to know the types of things you guys want to talk about. This isn't like a podcast or anything. It's simply me sharing my thoughts, my experiences, things that have helped me heal, or that I'm working through, because we're not all fully healed. It's an ongoing process. Last but not least, I wanted to share kind of like my weekly roundup, some things that I'm reading right now, sipping right now, etc. So a book that I came across that I have absolutely fallen in love with is a book called Life, I Swear by Dulce Louvouezo. I love her name. It's so like Louvouezo. Anyway, but it's really just an anthology of Black women sharing their stories and experiences, and they're all across the diaspora, and you gain so much. It's all the things that you never would have heard, because their stories that might be rooted in shame or fear or what have you, but the community built from simply sharing those stories is absolutely beautiful. So Life, I Swear by Dulce Louvouezo is what I'm reading right now. What I'm sipping is Puddin. It's called Puddin, by my girl Latonia Coakley at Adjourn Teahouse. It is absolutely delicious. I'm from Georgia, and so we drink sweet tea. And I live in Maryland, where all the tea is just iced. But Puddin gives me the chance to either drink it hot or drink it cold, sweetened, and iced. It is so good. The affirmation for this week is I invite all parts of myself to tea every morning. The loving parts, the hurting parts, the parts that I've pushed away out of fear, of judgment, or shame. All parts of me are worthy. I am worthy. Whew. See you next week, friends.